If you're struggling with a drug or alcohol addiction, now is the time to take action and get professional help. Call Recovery Centers of America at 1-800-941-2358. You are worthy of recovery from your addiction, and calling RCA will be the first step in getting the help you need. Recovery Centers of America answers the phone and admits patients 24/7, and because safety is a top priority, all patients and staff are routinely tested for COVID-19. Their expert team of physicians and medical professionals will treat you with compassion and dignity and provide an evidence-based treatment plan that's custom-tailored to your specific needs. Recovery Centers of America has detoxification and residential treatment centers across the East Coast and Midwest, and many of their treatment centers are in-network with insurance providers. So RCA's best-in-class inpatient and outpatient care, which is offered both in-person and via teletherapy, is affordable and accessible. Make this the year you conquer your addiction. Call 1-800-941-2358. 800-941-2358.
March Madness Conference Tournament Style Offshore Insiders.com brings you your sports betting podcast for Thursday, March the 12th. We're going to get to those news and notes in just one moment. Mr. March here, Joe Duffy, Grandmaster Handicapper. You've been winning with me on the score phone since 1988. 23-14 in college basketball, 14-4 in the NBA. Yeah, finally we did get a nice backdoor there in the NBA overtime favorite covering. We've been on the other side of those a little bit too often, so we're not going to apologize too much, but we will take it. Well, obviously, with the back-to-back situations, the play is going to be released later. Please visit OffshoreInsiders.com for all the latest intel on the Thursday basketball card. Joe Duffy's Picks, the winningest sports service of all time in terms of units won. Some news and notes for today. West Virginia and Baylor. Baylor has a plus 4.1 sweat barometer, although they're only 14-10, but that shows why we like to use a sweat barometer or margin of cover, because 6 of their Vegas setbacks were by 4 or fewer points. Now, West Virginia guard Juwan Stanton is doubtful. He is a key cog. 27 games, he averages 14.5 points per game and 4.6 assists. Arkansas Little Rock versus South Alabama. USA is the top over team in the country, going over 12 out of 20 in line games, but by an average of 10.8 points per game. 4 times in their last 6 games, they went over by 15.5 points or more. Northern Colorado and Northern Arizona. Northern Colorado is going over at a 12-4 rate their last 16, 9 times by at least 15.5. Though strangely, 3 of their 4 unders are by 14.5 or more. In fact, of the 19 games in which a total was posted, the last 3 games are 3 out of the 4 times this year that they were within 14.5 points of the total. So in other words, although they are definitely an over team, whether they go over or under, it's by very large margins. Texas State and Texas Arlington. UT Arlington Mavericks enter the game having lost 4 of their last 5 straight up. By the way, all records we mention are against the spread unless we otherwise note, as we are here. They are without the services of Johnny Hill and Drew Charles, who will miss the rest of the season. The two combined for 17.1 points per game for Arlington. Florida and Alabama, and I can tell you that Stevie Vincent with a level 5 winner on Florida, Alabama. UF expects to have Michael Carter, the second back in the lineup, 12.8 points per game, 4.4 rebounds, in a much healthier capacity than they did in the 67-50 loss to Kentucky. The junior guard and the team's best three-point shooter at 45.1% in SEC play did return to action after missing 7 games with a high ankle sprain. He scored only 3 points, hobbling around for 18 minutes, but he was held out of contact work all week to rest him for the tournament. Word is he is very close to 100%, and that would be the first time in 9 games they had him close to 100%. Florida is the 3rd most unlucky team in the nation, ranked 351 on the luck ratings, according to Ken Palm. Alabama's at 218. Now, again, the handicapping theory is the unlucky teams are underrated. The lucky teams are going to be overrated. Basically, the luck factor says that the teams have either won or lost a bunch of close games. So the luck factor says Florida is a little bit better than their straight-up record, essentially. And they're one of the most undervalued teams in the nation. Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, 346th luckiest team out of 351. Compare that to Tennessee is 114th. So the check would be in Vanderbilt's column from a handicapping standpoint, if you agree with that theory. Cal Northridge and Cal Davis. UC Davis, the second best sweat barometer or margin of cover in the country at 18-7 for plus 5.6 points per game. Cal Northridge is 8-17 minus 2.7, although they're 7-6 their last 13. So Northridge got off to a terrible start spread-wise, but they've actually been pretty good in the second half of the year. Portland State and Sacramento State. Not one player on Sacramento State has more than one game of postseason experience. Sacramento State is 14-26 straight up all-time against Portland State, but has won each of the last 3 meetings between the two teams dating back to last year. Cal Poly and Cal Santa Barbara, the UCSB Gauchos entered today's game with a 5-game straight-up win streak, which is their longest of the season, playing their best basketball of the year. Cal Santa Barbara has gotten 92% of the public bet. They are the biggest public play as of about 8:50 Eastern Time when we do file this report. Again, a lot of gamblers, myself included, do like to use contrarian information, and we explain that if you look at our YouTube channel. We've written articles about why that does work, etc. NBA, we are going to have a free winner, the New York and the Lakers. Lakers are 1-20 at home with at most 1 day of rest after a win in which they had an assist-to-turnover ratio of at least 2. Now, the Knicks are 4-3 their last 7 against the spread. They're finally showing some of that addition by subtraction that we expected when they lost overrated Melo Anthony. Now, I will grant you the so-called Ewing theory. We thought that Melo Anthony would be the perfect example. When a team loses their overrated star, they're generally good value to bet on. And New York overall has not been, but they're finally showing some signs of covering. We do think they are a little bit undervalued, getting 7.5 points from a not-so-great team. Free pick. Your free pick is on the New York Knicks. Houston and Utah. Houston, as we file this report, the top public bet in the NBA at 92%. Joe Duffy's picks. Please remember, visit offshoreinsiders.com from now until Sunday with the back-to-back situations, the promos, the plays. Unfortunately, are going to be a little bit later from all of our sports services, but you want to go to offshoreinsiders.com before placing a bet, and certainly during the NCAA Tournament, where we will have some more time to make those picks and plenty of time to promote it. You want to jump on all of our handicappers in March Madness.
Progressive Motorcycle presents Road Wisdom from the Motor.
Half man, half motorcycle.
Ride confidently in the direction of your dreams. Unless it's a bad dream, then turn around.
Go the other way.
Progressive Motorcycle also presents basic policy starting at $79 a year. Progressive Motorcycle, for those who were born to ride. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy is not available in all states.